All right, Geek Outings covering the crisis today. You got Editor, San Antonio.
What's up? This is Boba Fresh, San Francisco, Big Boba, Bobbin' for Apples, Bobbly Boop, Bubble Bobble, hella names.
Yeah, spoiler alert, everybody.
Spoiler alert. This is Joel Cole, a.k.a. Bobby from Santa Monica.
This is Rob Loostog, spoiler alert, Lucy.
So us, Rob, and Bob will be talking about Crisis. First 3 episodes, first half of the series. Starts off pretty well, right? Starts off with all the cameos. You got your, I guess the number denomination is the year of the movie or the TV series that came out. So you got Earth 89 with the reporter from Batman, from Michael Keaton Batman. You got the Titans reference from Earth 9, which was fucking awesome. Those of you that watch Titans out there, you know what I mean. Batman 66, you got Burt Ward, and then off to Supergirl, Earth 38. Starts out really well. I think the first episode was pretty good. What'd you think?
I thought it was really good. To be quite honest, I thought it was really good. Accepting the medium that it's in, I think, is one of the biggest things, and it is such a, like, shadow isn't the right word, like shrinky dink, I guess. Maybe it's a shrinky dink of Avengers Endgame in a certain way. Like, it is what it is, but it's so earnest and it tries so hard, and I really like that they leaned into it. Like everyone is on a Shakespearean level trying to deliver these lines on these sets and these costumes, and it's admirable. I have not been a part of the CW, DCW for a long time, and coming back and seeing a lot of these characters being familiar, being like, okay, wait, who's got superpower? I'm still not sure what's going on with Felicity.
I think CW is doing it only as CW can do. It's cartoony. There's some good action scenes in it, but it's still some of those kind of like clunky fight scenes and cheesy special effects. But that works for the CW. I don't think you're coming into this TV show new to the CW and like are gonna want to watch it. But I think having watched CW over the years, I'm like, oh, I get it. This is bringing me back into some of my favorite stories, because I stopped watching it for a while because they got pretty bad.
Yeah, well, you know what? I got to give them, props where props is due. They really went all out with the fan service, with the Easter egg.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can tell it's made by people that love the stories.
Yeah, I think they did a wonderful job with the monitor. I'm like, when I started watching it for the first time, that guy walks on and I'm like, that's the monitor I just saw in the comic book. And the CW's not afraid to portray him like that.
Yeah.
You're like, we're gonna make this the most cartoony person in this, cartoony universe that we have right now.
But the way that they actually did the crisis, in the sense of the phasing of the worlds being wiped out, the having Burt Ward there and doing that little nod. I think it was very satisfying. It was interesting to see all of these pieces come together from this TV medium and have it just so successfully be what he delivered.
I mean, I know what you mean. Like, watching it, I know what you mean about the Avengers thing, because in the old comic of Crisis on Infinite Earths, that room when they're in the hub, I forget what it's called. There's so many characters in that hub, and they'll never have that on the show, like they did for Avengers Endgame. It's kind of like what it should have been like. But like you said, they've done an admirable attempt. There's nothing really that is terrible. Brainiac 6 I can never like for some reason. is not likable. This is like and then when he's around Cisco, like in the same time, they're just like Cisco light and just.
I liked not liking Brainiac. Like I genuinely think the guy, again, like everyone is so earnestly acting, and Brainiac is like, if I'm gonna play this character, I'm gonna play this shit to the fucking T's. And like he's like a walking cardigan. Like he's like a walking turtleneck. Like if a turtleneck was a person, that's who he is.
I think they should have dyed his hair blonde and just went all out for it. You know what I mean? Have a dark skinned dude with blonde hair and just freak it out. That would have made him a little more interesting. But yeah,
you just have a thing for Cisco and the thong song, and
these things are true. These things are true.
Glad that they made the Green Arrow, the Amel character, Spectre at the end.
That was such a random decision that I feel like they threw in at the end.
Well, it works for the characters in that universe, because who else are you going to have do it at that point in time?
And it allows them a chance to do cameos, from time to time.
It's kind of smart on the part of CW. I mean, we don't really know how much longer this is going to go on for at this point. I think it's kind of ran its course a little bit right now. But he can make appearances eternally now as the Spectre whenever he wants. So, the next crossover happens, you get to get not Oliver Queen, but you get to get Robbie Amell in it, I guess. You still get a throwback. So that works out. I'm definitely interested to see what he ends up looking like on screen. And I hope it's not just a big Spectre against a big monitor. Just, what's her name? Rita Dispel from Power Rangers? Rita Repulsa.
Yeah,
like she just threw one of those staffs down there and they both just get big. Like, I don't want to see that fight. That's what's going to happen.
I don't know if I'm against that fight.
Going back to continuity, I mean, they could potentially wiping the old DC universe, because they're coming out with.
Dude, they just did. At the end of that episode, they said all of Earth won. They killed literally billions of people in those 3 episodes. Right. Like, just like that. Oh, those are the last survivors of that universe.
Yeah. That's an interesting thing about the Pariah character.
Yeah, I think that the Pariah reveal was really, really dope. Wells was just nailing it. Like,
yeah, it's funny, man. You think you've seen enough fucking Wells versions, and then there you go, boom.
They give it to you, and it makes sense. Where you're like, yeah, like he's the one who should be doing this. So I thought that was really good.
As far as the choices for some of the bigger characters in the story, I think those are good choices based on the CW Arrowverse.
Yeah.
I wish they would have made a baby Lex Luthor. I wish they would have done Alexander Luthor instead of the Superman baby that they're kind of using in the background. If I'm to guess that those characters are supposed to be analogous. What do you think?
What do you think, Lucy?
I love the first 2 seasons of The Arrow. Some of my favorite TV ever.
Arrow was awesome when it started. It spawned the entire CW verse.
Well, I agree with what Bobby said 100%. Right there, as always. 100%, Bobby. I'm right behind you. So, second episode. Let's move on. Our first episode was trying to do a lot. So, the second episode introduces the Paragons and all of this madness, which kind of makes no sense.
What I remember, is being like key parts and stuff. I mean, I thought it was great that we had Brandon Routh's Superman there as King Superman.
Bobby, that was hilarious. You did a great job there.
It's good. It's good. Was the Batman from Universe 99? The guy who voiced Batman in the animated
Kevin
series?
Conroy. Isn't that great?
Right. I knew it. I'm like, oh, that sounds super familiar.
Yeah.
Lucy. So right. I couldn't agree more.
Hold on, Luce. I'm going to have to actually disagree with that.
I don't
Legends of Tomorrow is still really good, even to this day. It's one of the most entertaining shows that they have gone.
Bobby, you're sounding like a fucking idiot right now. You know you're wrong.
But can we talk about Lex Luthor? That's where I want to go. Talk about, again.
Who are you talking
about? He was Lex Luthor's assistant, Ducky, and now he's playing Lex Luthor.
Oh, that's really?
Yeah, yeah.
After all those years on 2.5 Men?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
So let's break down Luthor for a second. Like, he's Superman's foil, and he represents the corruption in a certain way of the American dream that Superman is. So in the 80s, you need a corporate cold Lex. You need like this bald businessman kind of going through. And we live in a different time where I think we need a snarky Luthor. Like, we obviously didn't need the Batman versus Superman version. So like, we have an extremity, but like that Luthor worked for that weird world. And so in the confines of the CW, you have the right Luthor played up, because he plays up like.
So the Lazarus Pit was protected by Jonah Hex. What?
What was up with that? And what was up with?
I don't understand. I don't know.
You're gonna get this scar eventually. Like, you guys just don't get time. I don't think.
And if he was there, he should have already had it, right? Because he gets it in the future and then comes back to the past. Like, that was just weird. I think I didn't catch that until the second time I watched it. I just assumed it was some random dude or someone I didn't know who it was, and I was like, "Is that Jonah Hex?" And then I heard that line, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, when
everyone they can.
When I first saw the scene, I was confused. I mean, he's wearing Confederate outfits, so I assumed it was Jonah Hex, but I was like, well, he doesn't have the scar yet, so maybe like they're gonna kill him. This is gonna become Gentleman Ghost. I was like, I haven't watched this shit for so long. I don't know what's what. That's not what happened.
I gotta tell you, that sounds awesome. I would have fucking loved to see that.
Right.
So they can't get Batman on the CW?
I don't understand. You can use Superman on Supergirl. Why not? Like,
Yeah, well, you can use multiple Superman, multiple Supergirls. Like, the only person that I haven't seen the Green Lantern or mention of him. I haven't seen. Well, Batman, yes.
They've teased that Diggle's going to become Green Lantern a few times.
But would he be? Well, I don't want to be racist and be like, oh, he's the Jonathan Stewart.
Well, you know what? They've even teased that. They even teased because his name is John, and they've teased that he wants to take his stepdad's last name, and his stepdad's last name is Stewart.
Oh, I could see that happening.
Yeah, and when the '90s Flash saw him in the other last year's Crisis, he said, "Hey, John, where's your ring?"
Ooh,
yeah.
I did
little lines like that they dropped even like a year ago.
I would not be mad at all with him becoming the Green Lantern.
It would be great. It would be great. Yeah.
Well, before we jump to, though, there was a moment with Batwoman. Batwoman gets a lot of praise from some fans and then a lot of shit from a lot of other fans, you know? That scene with her and Supergirl talking, and they're like kind of feeling each other out and kind of pumping each other up. It's very World's Finest. It's very Batman, Superman. And I thought it was just really well done. And you can say what you want about either one of them as their characters, or if you like how they play it. But that scene was very well done on both their parts, and they both understand who the characters are playing to be able to pull that off. Just kudos for that, because you don't see that all the time, much less on the CW show.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you, especially on the TV medium within the CW. In a way, so making the joke about this being like, you know, like a shrinky-dink version of Avengers Endgame, and the way that people felt that the all-ladies splash page in Endgame was forced, this felt the opposite of this. This is the one area I think where they did it really smoothly, because they're actually engaging with each other and building like the rapport, like you said, like they're building each other up. I mean, both scenes are great, and it's good to see women of power get stage time without like having to be sexual objects or someone's romantic foil, or like something like that, just kind of existing on their own.
So next episode opens up with Birds of Prey. Makes me really, if they feel the need to like introduce each episode with like some throwbacks, I'm very curious what like episode 4 is going to look like when they come back from break.
Well, what's funny is because it's to scale. So for like the Arrow shows, they even joked about it. It was like, oh, it seems like every May, Star City's threatened with a citywide disaster. So they were even like joking about it when it comes to like sweeps and the end of the season.
That's some of the stuff I like with CW's writing. Like,
they'll
throw a line in there every once in a while, and you're like, oh, only like somebody who's been watching this for like.
Oh, the city's under threat again. Oh, it must be May or something like that. But then once you have citywide threats, then you need planet-wide threats. And when planet-wide threats aren't big enough, you need universe-destroying threats.
Well, what was the first crossover?
Oh God!
The alien invasion? Was it the alien invasion?
Yeah, it was the Dominators.
The Dominators.
Yeah, the second one was the Earth X, which I dug as well with the Nazi.
Okay, so this is only really the third big crossover.
No, fourth. The last one was Elseworlds.
That didn't even hit my radar.
The other thing. Oh, so this is the Constantine episode, right?
Yeah. Constantine.
Coming in hot, man. Coming in hot like always. That actor is amazing. That's like his role for life, I think.
I am really surprised. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to pitch a Constantine reboot after this crisis is done. Like, he nails it. He's a really good character. He portrays Constantine in a very believable way. And doing the cameo shout out of having Lucifer pop up when they open up the door, and I was like, great. Like, that's, like I said, everyone gets a paycheck. Everyone gets paid here. And having,
you notice that was Earth 666, of course.
Yeah. And I like how Lucifer knows that they're from other Earths. He's like, you're on my Earth. Like it's very specific. But I also like how he calls out Diggle, and he's like, I've got a friend that looks just like you and doesn't like me very much either.
I thought that was a little bit of a you all look alike joke to me. Slightly.
Like angels.
Oh, and
the first man.
So brand Nubian, one for all. So this is the Ryan Choi episode, right? So we finally get to see Ryan Choi, the Adam, and not to jump over it because it happens so fucking quick, you miss it. Cisco just gets his powers back.
They literally hand waved away how Vibe gets his powers back.
Oh,
by having it be the pariah guy. Like, what? Like,
yeah. I mean, well, that's how I guess they were trying to show off like how powerful the monitor was. Like, oh, we need you. You're part of the story. And like, boom, now Vibe's got his powers back.
I know. What?
He gave Harbinger her powers.
I mean, it's true.
Okay, the one thing that I've noticed that's kind of glaring and just kind of fucks with me is they don't really talk about the science of matter and antimatter at all. It's just like, I don't know, you expected to understand that, or like what's going on, or you just are supposed to understand it's a wave of like destruction.
So I think that's the MacGuffin of the show.
Oh,
like
okay.
That's the real, like, we're just supposed to kind of look the other way and like not bother with it. I am surprised though that we haven't had Ray Palmer or someone like try to have a monologue
instead of making a Paragon detector. So non-specific, dude. That, you know what that is? That is fucking like 60s DC with the Green Lantern. Like, it's a ring. It's yellow is its weakness, and whatever you think it can make.
Done. What does that thing look for? It looks for Paragon particles. I've isolated paragonals. So yeah, no, like you make a great point. I think that I didn't really think about that, but it does have that very old school DC. We just kind of accept
Yeah, grand strokes of science.
These grand strokes and
Yeah, my prediction for it, I think that they're going to find a way of bringing it all back to just one Earth. What I do want to say before we do wrap this up, that's something that's bugged me. Where's Wally? You have Kid Flash, right? You have another speedster. Where's Wally? Where's Jesse Quick? You have other speedsters. Are you saying they're dead?
The Paragons have to end up meaning something, right? I mean, it's very, we're talking about like 60s DC. You want to talk about something that means nothing. Is you're a paragon of destiny, like paragon of honor. You know, they're just very vague concepts. It's almost like the Lantern Corps nowadays, you know, one color represents an emotion. Even that it doesn't make sense. You just have to accept it. And this is kind of in that same vein. So on that note, it's very DC, these avatars. Good for them.
No, 100%. I think that DC has always been the more iconic big stroke kind of storytellers, and in their vagueness, they kind of find their groove. I don't know if I'll call it their strength, but I'll definitely call it their groove. And the Paragons seem to be one of those things.
So you're telling me this thing's going to end in a Care Bear stare?
Care Bear stare with no one there.
And no one cares.
No one cares, and the only person who dies is the one with no hair. No hair, Care Bear stare. But I did like the trophy case, and
the trophy case.
and he's like, yeah, I keep Clark's broken glasses in here.
Oh, that was the worst. He had the Mr. Freeze snow globe. What an asshole. That's like
right, dude, he's dick, man.
that's something that meant something to Victor Freeze, and you fucking took it from him, probably beat him to shit or killed him, and you got the snow globe right there.
You don't take the freeze gun.
Yeah, no, for what? For what?
What a dick, man.
This is Joel Cole, a.k.a. Bobby, signing out from Santa Monica. Fun as always. Can't wait to geek out with you soon. Like our page and subscribe to check out more episodes like this.
I couldn't agree more. Rob Lucy coming at you from Southern Oregon. Always nice talking to my friends, and hope you guys learned something today or have something to comment about. Let's geek.
Well, that was great. Geek Out really thought that the Crisis has been doing a solid job. Lucy, you made a bunch of solid points. Bobby, you keep throwing them over the plate. You're knocking it out. Editor, you're doing a fantastic job splicing this all together. Kudos to you. Thanks for the sacrifice you make.
You're such a bastard.
This is impossible. This
You're
is
gonna bring that out right now, right here?
This is impossible. This is impossible without you. It's not possible without you. But no, seriously. Appreciate all the work and love hanging out and talking with you guys.
Yep. Bobby, Rob, you guys have made a lot of great points tonight. Just want to check out by showing the shirt. Because I've been watching Inhumans. I've been torturing myself there. I'm rewatching Inhumans. And it is San Antonio signing out.
Sam, go.